If leadership is about change for better results, who's leading the change? Senior leaders, executives, often are the folks that are expected to get her done. Well, here's some bad news. Most change initiatives fail. So how do we get her done? Well, first of all, you need a reason for change, right? I mean, whether it's the market wants it or the customer wants it, or the organization is requiring it because we're not growing like we need to or making the money we need to, you need a reason for change. Change for the sake of change is harassment, all right? I am very comfortable with established routines. Just leave me alone. When I get home in a couple of days, I'm going to Brugger's and I'm getting my bagel, right? We love comfortable established routines. So if you're going to change something in an organization, you got to have a reason. With that said, we back up a little bit, and if you are going to lead change as a leader in an organization, first you do have to have the consultant buzzword stuff of vision and values to which you align, and then you create strategy and tactics. So vision, is that the work of the one person or is it a collaboration? Don't really care. Not going to talk about that today, but if you're going to implement change, you need vision, you need values, and you need alignment. With that said, we have to align everything in the organization, right? We have to align time to the vision, like do I have time to do what I'm going to do? Capital, are we investing money where it needs to be invested? Are we investing training, personal, R&D, et cetera, right? So often, particularly larger organizations begin to get a little diffuse, and there's these initiatives that just one initiative over the other. And I'm going to share some research with you here that earlier I said change initiatives fail. So we asked the question of, again, construction industry, this is about 500 construction pros, about change initiatives. Do change initiatives fall short? And it's troubling, perhaps even depressing, that of the senior leaders, those whose job it is to come up with the idea and spearhead the change, that 73% of executives said that change initiatives often fall short. So once again, these are the folks that, hey, it's my idea, I'm going to get her done. About 3/4 of them in a recent piece of research says, yeah, we don't get it done. Oh my God. Kill myself, right? I'm admitting that I'm weak, I'm not getting her done. So why do change initiatives fail? Well, there's a couple of reasons. First of all, it takes longer than you think. And because it takes longer, it requires a little more cash. Because it requires a little more cash, you also require a little more personal involvement. So what happens is, you as a senior leader, we're talking about personal selling of change, right? The fastest way to build trust and leverage and relationships and troubleshoot potential problems in the change is through personal selling. That's you out there working the room. So let's be clear. The video you do to implement the change is merely the beginning, but it's often the end. And I'll explain that to you in a moment. So change initiatives take longer than you think. Energy, money, time, etc. Requires a heck of a lot more personal selling than you realize. And you got to have organizational capacity. Last time I checked, all of you are busy. Everyone is 100% employed for the most part. Yeah, maybe I finish a job today and I don't go out till next week, but you know what I mean. We're 100% employed. In other words, you're going to roll out this new change, whether it's a software or a hard, you're going to change something. Where's the capacity in the organization to change? You're already at 100%. In other words, you don't have the capacity. So, another reason that it fails. You haven't invested the time or the resources to make it work. So what do you got to do? Well, you may need to take something off somebody's plate. You may need to appoint a champion to do it. I remember a couple years back, a client was rolling out some Viewpoint and some new modules on Viewpoint, and they took one of their best senior project managers. She was probably the best project manager in the company. They took her offline. You are no longer in construction operations running projects. You are overseeing the rollout and implementation of Viewpoint. They took this great resource, took her offline, put her into the initiative. The initiative succeeded because they invested into it. So this thought process of why do change initiatives fail, there's a couple of reasons, but let me give you a visual on this one. So it's time zero. I'm the exec. Everything's fine. And now I wake up one morning and remember change is about, leadership is about change for better results. And I'm thinking, okay, I got an idea. Now I don't implement that idea on day one. I start noodling on it a little bit. I go to an association event and I hear other people talking about a similar idea. So I'm noodling on it, so time is going by, right? So now day 1, day 5, day 30, day 60, I've been thinking about this thing for 2 months now. 3 months. And I go, okay, I'm gonna do something with this. So I've been thinking about it and my readiness for the change is going up. So as you look here, your time zero, right? My readiness for change is going up as time goes, right? So I'm getting up here. Now I get next to my management team, like my VPs, PMs, whatever, and I say, hey, I got an idea. And their initial reaction, because they're down here at 0, right? So you've gone to here, they're here at 0. Now we start going here together. They're like, what the hell are you talking about? Now we start going somewhere together. 3 months down the road, that middle management group is ready to go. If you're the executive, you've been thinking about it since time 0, 6 months ago, and you roll it out. You have this big kickoff meeting. PowerPoint, visuals, spiff, all sorts of stuff. This is gonna be great. And then you walk away because you have done what leaders are supposed to do. You've implemented this is great. And you, having been up here like 6 months down the road, I am so ready for it. By the way, you come down here, front line, first they've heard of it, they're going, what the hell are you talking about? And at that point, when you have maximum need for leader support, you as a senior leader revert back to time 0 on the next change initiative. And we go through this whole process again. So, takes longer, requires more personal selling. So you look at this, and now people, here you've rolled this thing out, and now we're in month 7. It's been going for a month, and you're looking around, and it's not going well. As you're looking around, and you're going, what's the problem? And I go, well, boss, I don't really know. But you're like, haven't we been talking about this for months? No, you've been thinking about it for months. I've only known about it for 3.5 weeks. So you expect me to have it all figured out. My wife will sometimes say to me, she goes, you're great at planning. It would be nice if you would tell people, right? Because I know where we're going next, but I haven't necessarily shared that. Same thing for organizations, right? For senior leaders. So this is why we have failed change initiatives. It's the flavor of the day crap, right? And what happens is you train the organization to be patient, not to be hostile, not to throw rocks at the change, but to be patient, and it'll go away. And then a new one will come. Be patient, and it'll go away. And the reality is you have trained your organization to not change. So, pick less, dedicate more. One other thing to think about is you gotta kind of dot a lot of I's and cross a lot of T's as we go through this. So yes, you need vision. Cool, okay. You need skills to implement the vision. Got it. You need incentives. You need resources. You need a plan. You need all sorts of things, right? If you're missing any one of these things along the way, the risk is change, confusion, anxiety, resistance. There's false starts, right? So you got to recognize, like earlier I said, personal selling, all those things. But if your change initiatives are failing, consider, Do I have the skills? Do I have the incentives? Do we have the resources? Any one of those missing is going to cause you problems. So I don't like failure. I mean, I like to get things done. But generally, when I fail to implement a change initiative that I think about, it's one of two things actually. Either I violated the change principles that we've just talked about, or I'm just not really committed to it. So that's why we have to pick things that really matter, that will really have an impact on the organization. And anytime you roll out a change initiative, there's a population, a percentage of your population that says to themselves, what are you talking about? Are you telling me I've been doing it wrong? No, what you've been doing is right, but there might be a new way or a different way or a better way to do it. So I value everything you've done. I appreciate the way you've done it for years, but we're going to try this new method, and I hope you, and I want you to join us in this initiative, right? Now, at some point, somebody might become insubordinate and we got to take it in a different conversation. But just recognize the human emotion of change to some degree says, hey, what you did isn't right anymore, and you're asking me to move into the unknown. And we all have a fear of the unknown. So you have to help me understand what that future looks like, what my role is in it, and then I'm going to be okay. So we step back. Change initiatives fail. They don't have to. If you understand the process, if you dot the I's and cross the T's, if you understand the timelines, and then you'll have the payoff of change for better results. Think about it. Give me a call if you have any questions.